Hello and welcome to this week's trick analysis. Today we're going to be having a look at Websters / losers. Don't care if you're stepping back into it, running into it, standing and just kicking your leg. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to Kojo. I'm going to be looking at it, giving you my best tips. Now there's a lot of different ways to do this trick. Hopefully all the tips here will help anyway. They should apply across the board, though there are different variations, different ways you can go about doing your Webster. So if I'm saying something that's different to the way someone else who's good at Webster does it, that's fine. You can do it that other way if you want, or you can do it the way I'm teaching. It's up to you. Do what you want. First off, I'd like to give a big thank you to everyone who submitted a clip. I think about 50 of you did this time, so I've got a lot to go through, really got my work cut out. I've sorted them into sections depending on your main issues, though if you're in one section, that doesn't mean you don't have issues in other areas. I've just tried to figure out what the main issue is. So watch the whole video, and hopefully the advice across the board will help you with your Webster. So let's get started. The first section I'm going to be looking at is the most obvious section. Kicking your leg back. How are you going about doing that? Are you doing it right? Are you doing it properly? I'm going to be having a look. If you sent your clip in, if you're not landing your Webster, or you're not landing it great, probably not doing it properly. So let's figure out how you can. Okay, so with this first Webster, you can see the back leg really doesn't come very high at all before you leave the ground. It's actually not really separating from the other leg. You're just kind of bending your leg up. So you're just kicking up your heel rather than your whole leg. So check out this example leg raise. Now at the moment, you're not even doing the first step of this. So you want to make sure you're kicking your whole leg backwards. You don't want that back leg to be bent as you're kicking it back behind you. You want it to be fully straight as it extends. But that's not all. You don't want to just kick your leg upwards nice and straight. You want to use that leg to reach backwards so you can get that extension at your hips. Now just from this leg raise example, you can see the difference between the two. The most common mistake with people swinging their leg back is just kicking it back like this, when really you want to be kicking it back something like this. You want to think about reaching as far away from you as you can with that back foot, so you get a real nice extension through your hips. It will allow you to get your leg much higher. Also, the further your foot is away from your body, the more force you're going to be able to generate. It's just simple physics if you think about it. So that's the main issue with all of these Websters. They're all traveling a bit too much because you're not getting as much flip momentum as you could with that back leg. You're not getting as much height as you could, and you're traveling too far because it's not being used to pull you backwards. Now, flexibility does play a big role in this. Obviously, if you're not that flexible, you're not going to be able to kick your leg that far backwards. But most of these ones could be much better with the exact same level of flexibility if you just change the way you think about that kicking leg. Think about what it's for. You're not trying to use that leg to kick upwards, you're trying to use that leg to kick backwards and then upwards. So you're fully extending at the hip, pulling it right out behind you, and then bringing it upwards. That's going to really help you to stay on the spot and get as much flip as possible. It's also going to help you get into a nice extended takeoff position, which is really important, and we're going to get more into with the people who have problems with that. So here's an example of a Webster without that outstretch. Now this one, you can see he drives the leg pretty high in the takeoff, doesn't drop his head too soon, pulls the arms into a nice tight tuck, but still doesn't get round that comfortably. The main reason for this is the lack of outstretch. As that leg's pulling all the way back, you want your head and chest to be reaching forwards. You'll see my arms are out in front of me. Now, if I can hit this shape where my back leg's as far back as it can be and my upper body's reaching as far forwards as it can be, it's going to put me in a nice straight position. That means that as I push off the ground, when I tuck in, I'm going to accelerate and flip really fast. The same as when you're setting for a back tuck. If you set with your body really straight and then tuck in really tight, you're going to flip really fast. Whereas if you set with a bent body and then tuck in, you're not going to speed up that much. So this applies across the board with all flips. You want to try and extend and stretch out your body as much as possible in your Webster set. Just your set for Webster is pretty different to most flips, as you're going to be horizontal rather than upright. Something else that might cause this issue is tucking too soon. If you're trying to initiate your tuck as your leg's still kicking up and you haven't left the ground, you're not going to be able to flip as fast as you would do if you focused on outstretching all the way through your takeoff and then tucking once you leave the ground. And I don't mean wait before tucking, I mean as soon as you push off the ground, pull into that tuck, but not before. We're going to have a look at some early chest drops now. So what I mean by an early chest drop is if you let your head and chest go down too soon, pretty much. Now when is too soon? Too soon is before you plant the leg that you're taking off. So if you're doing your little jump or you step backwards and you've already dropped your chest before you've even stepped onto your plant leg, you're doing it a little bit too soon. You want to be not completely straight upright, you don't need to be like this, but you want to be somewhat upright when you first make contact with your plant leg. That will allow you to throw your head and chest downwards and forwards as you extend your leg backwards, which is going to generate a load of flip momentum. If your head and chest are already down when you step onto your plant leg, you're just not going to be able to generate as much flip, and you're probably going to lose some height as you'll end up leaving the ground with your head and chest too low. Now the next issue I want to talk about is something I talk about in a lot of different tricks: spending too long on your leg. If you're waiting on that plant leg for too long, allowing it to bend too much and then trying to jump, you're not going to get as much height as if you just pushed into the floor through your toes and drove that other leg straight backwards. Also, if you bend your leg too much, then the other leg's going to have to bend to swing past it, or you kick the ground. So already you're going to lose some of the momentum you can generate with that back leg, as well as losing some of the height, as you're not going to be able to get as high if you bend too low. With this example, Webster, you can see he's doing pretty much everything right. He's nice and upright when he plants the leg. He's reaching backwards with his swing leg so it really extends. There's not too much of an outstretch, so that's something else that could be improved with this one. But the main issue I'm seeing is just too much contact time on that left leg. So he's stepping onto a flat foot and trying to take off. You're just not going to be able to get as much height as if you just pushed through your toes and bounce off the floor. Now this does apply when you're doing it on unsprung floors as well. You just want to be pushing through your toes. As you can see with these examples, my heel isn't touching the floor at any time during the takeoff. I'm just pushing with my toes. You only really need a little push as well. It shouldn't feel like much work with your plant leg, as the most important things are the timing between your head and chest and fully extending that back leg, hitting that outstretched position, and then tucking in as you take off. If you bend that leg too much, then it's going to cause you a lot of problems with this, as it's going to slow down the whole move. It's going to take you longer to leave the ground. So you're not going to be able to carry momentum as well as you would have done if you just pushed into the ground through your toes. I know that's a lot of words. I hope that makes sense. It makes sense in my head. If you have any questions, post them in the members group. I'll get back to you. And the last thing I want to talk about with Webster. This is a pretty common one, turning into a side flip. I used to have a bit of a problem with this one. Wasn't too much of an issue to fix it. It's mainly down to where you're looking in your takeoff and whether you're allowing your chest to turn. As when you allow your chest to turn in the takeoff, it forces your hips to turn, and the whole trick's just going to turn into something that you're not trying to do. You're not trying to do a side flip. Would be cool if you were. You'd be doing a decent side flip, but that's not what you're trying to do. So yeah, let's do what we're set out to do. Steal Webster. So as you can see with this one, he's turning his chest like a raise in the takeoff. That's turning his hips, which is turning it into a side flip. Try to keep yourself stretched out forwards without turning your shoulders, chest or hips. Keep everything in a straight line. There's really no magic tips for fixing this one. It's one of those where you just have to think about keeping your chest straight as you go into it, keeping your hips straight forwards as you go into it, and just not allowing your body to turn like that. There's not much else I can say. If you're having a lot of problems with this one, just keep practicing it, and every time you do it, think about keeping your chest straight forwards and your hips straight forwards. Over time, it will become habit, your technique will adapt, and it will stop being a problem anymore. You just need to make sure you're trying to keep yourself straight. You're thinking about those things. If you're just doing it and going into a side flip and you're just okay with that, it's never going to change. So just make yourself aware of it. Think about it every time you train that trick. I do turn my hips a little bit in my Webster, as because you're swinging on one leg, you are going to be slightly to the side anyway. It's only natural. You wouldn't be able to be perfectly straight. So I wouldn't worry too much about it, but if you're turning too much into a side flip, obviously take those tips into account. Think about straightening up. You've just got to find the axis you're comfortable with being on. Somewhere between a front flip and a side flip is fine. It depends on the aesthetic you're going for. I've seen some really good looking Websters where the hips come quite around the side, not really over the top. So it's not too big an issue, but if you are concerned about it, if people are saying your Webster's a side flip, then think about those things. Before I finish up, I just want to have a look at some of the Websters that didn't fit in any of these categories that I thought I'd probably have more specific advice for. So let's have a look at them. Alright, so this one, I can see you've been using the aerial method to learn your Webster. That's fine, you seem to be on the right track. It looks to me as though you're ready to take it to the next stage. So instead of starting with your head and chest over there, just start facing the way you're going to go. Shouldn't be too hard for you to change it. And then from there, you just need to think about that back leg pulling you backwards further to reduce that travel. And that's pretty much it. You're ready to move on to the next step, so do that. And all of these other ones are just Websters that are already pretty good. They didn't have any major mistakes with them that would put them in any of these categories. Though obviously, every single one of these categories you can still apply to your Webster. You could probably outstretch a little bit more in your takeoff. You could probably drive that back leg higher and further away from you. You could probably be more upright when you plant your leg. These are just minor adjustments that you can make over time through repetition to get your Webster even nicer. So I hope that's helped you all. Hope you've enjoyed this trick analysis, and I'll see you next time.